Hi everybody, it's Miss Kim. Today we are going to do a fun science project. I am actually a speech teacher at school, but during some of my speech sessions, one of my favorite things to do is experiment with my students. So, for our science project today, we're going to make some lava lamps. So, I'm going to read you a little something that I had written about lava lamps so I could teach you a little more about them, because I didn't know all this until I researched. Right. So, lava lamps, as we all know, are not actually made of lava. However, lava lamps get their name from the process that takes place inside a volcano, which also happens in the bottle or cup. In a real lava lamp, a hot light bulb heats up the wax until it's less dense or lighter than the surrounding liquid. The wax then rises to the top, cools, becoming more dense again, and falls back to the bottom. This process of heating matter in a closed system like this until it becomes less dense, then falling back to the bottom as it loses energy, causes a swirling motion. The swirling motion is called convection. Convection also happens in a volcano when rocks deep in the earth are heated into magma, a less dense form of molten rock. The magma rises to the surface of the volcano where it becomes lava. Then, when the lava loses energy, because it's far away from the hot center of the earth, it becomes more dense and falls back down towards the bottom and the core of the earth where it turns back to magma. Volcanoes erupt because the lava inside becomes so hot that it boils, releasing big bubbles of gas up through the top of the volcano. The pressure inside of the volcano becomes so high from all the energy inside that it shoots hot lava and ashes into the atmosphere. Eruptions do not happen in lava lamps because the liquid inside never gets hot enough to boil. Its lamp is actually only designed to keep it warm, just hot enough for the convection process to take place. While the lava lamps we make don't use wax or light bulbs, we can still simulate the convection process using a few household ingredients and a little creativity. So, here is what we need. We're going to need 3 tablespoons of baking powder. So one of these is a tablespoon. It's typically the biggest spoon on your measuring spoons kit. We're going to need 3 tablespoons of baking powder. We're going to need 1/4 of your glass full of water, cold water. If you can, put ice in it. If not, just make sure it's cold from the tap. You're going to use 2 or 3 drops of food coloring, any color you like. You can mix them if you want. Then you're going to add halfway up your cup, so you're going to do 1/4 of your water, then 2/4 of vegetable oil, so you have a little bit of space in the top. You're going to dump in oil. It can be vegetable or cooking oil, or it can be baby oil. You get to pick. We're going to see both today. And then for your last ingredient, you can either use vinegar or lemon juice. And normally it takes about 1 average size lemon to make the amount of juice you need. So we're going to make all 4 different combinations today, and we'll see those. And then also to do this, if you want to do it on your own, you're going to need a transparent cup or jar. You could use like a mason jar if you have one of those, or just a regular glass. Try to use a taller glass if you can though, because the taller the glass, the more bubbles you'll have. So you need that. You need a spoon for measuring. You're going to need a spoon to mix a little bit in your cup. And then you're going to need paper towels or napkins just to make sure you don't make a mess. So we're going to start. So I have 4 cups here, and I'm going to make 4 different combinations, and we're going to see which one has the best reaction. So all of these are going to be lava lamps, but I want to see which one has the most bubbles, which one is the coolest looking, which one has the most fizz at the top. So we're going to see which one works the best. So I made these little cards before to tell me which combination I'm going to use. So this one is going to be baby oil and lemon juice. This one is going to be cooking oil and lemon juice. This one's going to be baby oil and vinegar. And this one is cooking oil and vinegar. So I'm going to switch back on my computer so I can see myself again. I need to know if you guys can see me. I'm actually going to delete all of this later because this is weird. Okay, so we have our signs up: cooking oil, lemon juice, baby oil, lemon juice, vinegar and cooking oil, vinegar and baby oil. So Green cups are baby oil, the brown cups are cooking oil. And then I'm going to switch lemon juice and vinegar. Okay, so let's start. In each cup, every single cup is going to have 3 tablespoons of baking powder. I use Davis baking powder. You can get it for about $2 at the dollar store or the regular grocery store, Walmart. They should have it in the baking section. So I'm going to use 3 tablespoons each. You can go a little bit light on this, but the more you use, the longer the reaction will last. So I'm putting 1 tablespoon in each, and I'm just going to try to measure so they're all even for my experiment. Also, so you can at home, you want to try to make sure that your baking powder isn't super hard when you put it in, because the finer the powder, the better the reaction works too. If you have too much hard powder, it kind of becomes like a rock, and it takes a lot longer for the vinegar or lemon juice to react with it. So I need 1 more tablespoon each, and then I'm going to add my other ingredients. Alright, so I'm about to run out, so I'm just going to dump the rest of what I have in. So there we go. And I'm clear out of baking powder. I've done this like 5 times so far, so that's why I ran out. So, we're done with our baking powder. Now, we're going to fill our glasses 1/4 of the way up with water. And I'm going to move these little signs for a minute, just so you can see how high we want our water to be filled up. And it's going to be a little bit different in each cup, but for me, I'm going to fill it 1/4 of the way, which looks just about like that. Remember, you have to make sure your water is cold. If your water is hot, this is not going to work. You also probably want to make sure that you do this on paper towels or a pan like I have. I have a baking sheet underneath this, just so that I don't spill anything on the table. Not to say that it'll ruin your table, but once you have color in it, it stains a lot of things. So you just want to make sure that you're being neat and clean when you do it. Alright, so I put my baking powder in, I put my water in. My cup is about 1/4 of the way full on each one of them. I made them even. So now I'm going to stir it all up. And you want to keep a separate spoon for each cup, just because eventually you're going to be mixing colors if you only use 1 spoon. So there's the first one. Here's my second one. You want to mix it so it is totally uniform. It should kind of look a little bit like milk when you're done mixing, and you want to make sure that there's no chunks left of your baking powder. There's our last one. Alright, so our baking powder and water is mixed thoroughly. It is now a homogeneous mixture. So, I'm going to add a different color to each one, just for my own fun. There we go. So my first one's going to be red. I'm adding 3 drops of red to it. Next one's green. One after that, I'm going to do blue. And the last one will be yellow. Again, if you wanted to mix colors in this, you can. A lot of the time, if you mix 2 colors that go together a little better, like blue and green will make teal, but a lot of times if you mix like red and blue, it kind of makes a gross gray color, so you might not want to do that. Because for whatever reason, it doesn't make a great purple. So, here's my colors. I'm going to mix again. So this is going to be like a pinky red color. Kind of looks like a milkshake. Here's my green. Blue. And yellow. So we have our colors. I'm putting my signs back up so I can see. Baby oil vinegar, cooking oil vinegar. Here is cooking oil lemon juice and baby oil lemon juice. So you can see your colors when it happens. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. So far we added our baking soda, 3 tablespoons. We added our water, just 1/4 of the way full in each cup. We mixed that together thoroughly. Then we added our food coloring, about 3 drops. You can add more if you want to. It's just going to change the color of the mixture. It doesn't really matter too much for the purpose of our experiment. And then we're going to fill the cup so that it's 3/4 of the way full with our cooking oil. I might have to use a little bit less because this is what I have left. So here's my little cooking oil. I'm only going to add this to 2 of them because here's my experiment. So cooking oil and cooking oil. I'm going to fill it 3/4 of the way. I'm going to wait for it to settle. Actually, might as well just finish this cooking oil at this point. Alright. So again, you want to try to keep all of your cups even if you're going to do an experiment like I did. Otherwise, you're just going to do 1/4 of baking soda and water, and then you're going to do 2 more quarters of oil. Sorry, there's hair on me. Cover this up. I don't need this anymore. So next, I'm going to do it with my baby oil. So green and yellow are going to have baby oil inside. And as you can see with the blue and red, the oil is starting to settle on top. Our reaction isn't taking too much place yet. So here I go. Here's my baby oil. Sorry, this is taking so long. The baby oil squirter thing is really slowing me down. And as you can see with the baby oil too, there's like 2 different colors in there. The bottom's really dark and the top is really light. It's because baby oil is clear. So it takes a little bit of the color on, but it's not, it's still a little bit noticeable. But then you're going to see with the blue and red that this turns yellow because the cooking oil is yellow, and this will be yellow as well because the cooking oil is yellow. So here I go. I'm going to fill my yellow one up. The same as the green. I might need another bottle of cooking oil. Oops. Yes, I do. And I'm going to take a cut. I'll be back. So I'm back. I had to get more baby oil, but here it is. So also, I'll let you know, this wasn't full before, so it'll probably take you about 1 full bottle of baby oil to do this, which is kind of a waste because this is expensive. But for this purpose, we're going to use them. So again, you can see that these are separating some more, and you kind of want to wait for them to separate because it makes the reaction more interesting to watch. Also, if you couldn't tell, chemistry is kind of my favorite part of science. I always liked mixing things together and seeing what would happen. I don't recommend it for most things, though, unless you've watched somebody do it already, because you can make some kind of dangerous stuff with chemistry. This is not dangerous by any means, but I definitely wouldn't recommend eating this or drinking it, considering that these things are not all edible. And even if they are all edible, like the cooking oil, baking powder, water, and eventually vinegar or lemon juice, it tastes disgusting and it will give you a major stomachache. So definitely don't eat that. So we filled up our oil. This one is actually separating really quickly. The green is separating pretty nicely, and then the red and blue are separating pretty well too. So here I go. I'm going to cut up my lemon and start adding lemon juice to each one. So, use my knife. Please use adult supervision. Be careful. Cut your lemon in half, like normal, and then, if you can, pick out the seeds because you don't really want them in your lava lamp. They're not going to hurt it, but probably better that you don't have them in there. And then you're going to start squeezing your lemon out. So I should have grabbed a bowl, which I didn't, but we're going to play it by ear. So here I go. I'm going to squeeze my lemon juice in here. And I'm going to use a full lemon's worth. And we're going to watch our reaction take place. Kind of slow to start. But you can see it's starting, right? So we're getting some foam in the top. I have a couple seeds in there. They're actually rising too because I dropped them in by accident. Whoops. Alright, so that lava lamp has started. I'll cut up my second lava lamp and see what happens with that one. Whoops. See, I have to be careful. In the future, you probably want to cut your lemons up before you start, just so you can see the difference on time, how long it takes. But for this video, we're not going to do that. So, there we go. The blue is, oh, I'm sorry, not the blue. The green is also getting lemon juice. So this one was cooking oil. This one is baby oil. We're going to see what happens differently. And remember, again, lemon juice is messy. So, paper towels, napkins, keep it neat. As you can see, this one has a ton of foam and it's rising to the top. So, this might be a little bit more like a true volcano, which is kind of cool. Okay. So there's my full lemon juice. It's reacting with the baby oil now. Something's going on in there, and soon we're going to start seeing our lava lamp bubbles in a big way. So we're waiting for that. In the meantime, I'm going to do some vinegar in the other one. So blue and yellow are going to have vinegar inside. I'm only going to use 1 tablespoon. You can add a little bit more, but 1 tablespoon is really all you need to get the reaction going. So here is our cooking oil and vinegar mixture. Here's my tablespoon. And there we have, whoa, that was fast. So there's the vinegar. Here's another tablespoon of vinegar, and this is going in baby oil. Interesting. So it looks like, alright, so yellow's starting up. Yellow has some pretty big bubbles inside. They take a minute to fizz up. Eventually, they kind of fizzle out a little bit. Like these ones are going to eventually fizzle out, and you'll see some bubbles inside. I'll hold them up so you can see it too. These are not super huge. If you wanted to see more bubbles, you can also mix a little bit in the bottom to kind of disturb it a little bit and make some more. But here's what red turned out like. So that was our cooking oil and lemon juice. So that's got some little bubbles inside, but a ton of foam in the top. Then we have our green, which has a lot of little bubbles. That was our baby oil with lemon juice. So a lot of little bubbles, not too much foam. Then we had our blue, which really bubbled fast in the beginning. It rose up really quickly.
but now it's just starting to bubble pretty consistently. It almost looks like Sprite soda inside, kind of, which is really cool. I'm going to try to show you if I can. You see that, how the bubbles are rising up? And you can see them through the side too, so sort of neat. And then our yellow, which is kind of hard to see because our cup is green, unfortunately. But if you tap it, you'll see some more of the bigger bubbles in there. So I think that the vinegar creates a larger bubble, because if you can see in the top, larger bubbles are coming up. But you can be the judge of that. And then, I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. I mean, I thought this was pretty neat. So there's 4 different ways to do it. This was cooking oil and lemon juice. This was lemon juice and baby oil. This was cooking oil and vinegar. And then this was baby oil and vinegar. For me, if I were to do this again, I would probably do the cooking oil and vinegar, because I thought that was the neatest, and it is still bubbling right now with some decent sized bubbles inside, which is pretty cool. The green is still going, the red is still going, only a little bit though. And you'll see also when this reaction is sort of over that what used to be your thick paste in the bottom of your baking powder and water is now a liquid. So the reaction's happening, and that baking powder is now turning into something different. It's releasing gas, which means a lot of energy is being released from it, and therefore it's a little bit less dense as part of the reaction. So kind of cool. The yellow is still bubbling a little bit. I'm not going to put my finger in there because that is kind of gross. See, now yellow's got some bubbles coming up again. Try green, see what happens in here. A little more fizz. Red is still bubbling pretty well. Just small bubbles in the red. So there you have it, guys. We made lava lamps all by ourselves. We used multiple ingredients. So we did 3 tablespoons of baking powder. We did a 1/4 of your glassful of water, enough to cover that baking powder, and then we mixed it up with a spoon. Then we added some food coloring, about 3 drops of each. You can make it any color you want. After that, we added our oil, cooking oil or baby oil, either one. And then the last thing we did was add our vinegar or our lemon. If we did vinegar, it was 1 tablespoon. If you did a lemon, it was the whole lemon. So there you go. Again, if I were to do this again, I'd probably use a bowl to squeeze my lemon juice in so it would all dump in at once. That might be why the bubbles didn't get so big. I'm not really sure. I'll try it again and let you know. So I would try to put lemon juice in a bowl, then dump it. Also, if I were to do this again, I'd try to use a perfectly clear cup, because these have like a green tint and a brown tint, so I'd like to see how it looks in a perfectly clear cup. Maybe it would be a little bit different. I thought it was cool that the cooking oil stayed yellow, even though we put a color in it, and the baby oil kind of looks like it gained a little bit of the color from the food coloring, so maybe it is more soluble with our coloring. So I think that's about it for this video. Like we said, we're watching convection happen right here. The energy is rising up, the gas bubbles are popping. It's kind of like our lava, so that's where our lava lamps get their name. And again, these will kind of last for maybe 20 minutes, and then they're designed to be dumped down the sink. Make sure you rinse your sink out when you're done with it, because this is a lot of oil and a lot of baking powder, and it kind of gets stuck in the pipes, so you want to make sure that you run the water for a minute or 2 after you spill this out. Definitely do not drink this. Say it again, don't drink it. Not for consumption. Don't eat it, don't drink it, don't give it to your dog. Not to go in anybody's body. It goes down the sink, and then it's over. So, there you have it. There's your lava lamps. I hope you guys have fun with this. If you have any questions or you want to do something else fun, you can probably comment below. Yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.